Well, I said we were.
Welcome to Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the wildest mixed tag team in podcasting, where the kayfabe drops and the chaos takes over. Let's ring the damn bell.
Headlocks tight, heels on the prowl, dropping elbows, hearing growl, feel the foul. No script here, just real, no bluff. Kayfabe crack, now the dirt gets rough. Headlocks, heels, havoc in the zone. Stepping in the ring, chaos at your home. No filters, no mask, just raw bare tone. Wrestling unscripted, we on the throne. Title belts, mic checks, crowd going crazy. Drop truth bombs, leaving lines feeling hazy. Beyond the kayfabe, past the charade, where legends are born and stories get made. Headlocks popping, who's hitting the mat? Welcome to the Havoc, where the real talk's at. Tune in, step through, leave the fake at the door. Headlocks, heels, havoc, now hear the roar.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am one half of the greatest tag team in this podcasting business. It's me, it's that Legend, and with me as always is everybody's favorite uncle and my favorite tag team partner, Uncle Slam.
What's up, family?
And wrestling fans from around the world, welcome to another edition of Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc Wrestling Unscripted. Tonight, we are going to have, we're going to be kicking off the biggest debate ever attempted on this show. Who is the greatest world heavyweight champion of all time? The arguments start tonight as we dive into the AEW and WCW sides of the tournament bracket, where legends, icons, and modern-day champions collide in a battle for wrestling immortality. Every matchup is going to spark a debate. Every vote is going to matter. And by the end of the night, only the strongest contenders will move on one step closer to being crowned the greatest. We're not doing it alone tonight either, though. Joining us is, of course, Mr. Andrew Poletto from Popcorn and Whiskey.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be here. And tonight I'm known as the bald guy. So keep that in mind. But this is going to be something different. We're ready to rock and roll with this one tonight. Thanks for having me.
We got the bald guy and the bad guy. Speaking of the devil, the bad guy J.D. from Mayhem Media. As everybody knows, he's always on here with us, good friend of ours.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
And, of course, up there in that top right corner, representing Aftermath Pro Wrestling, we have got a former guest as well, the savior of wrestling, Chad Casey.
That's right. I'm happy to be here.
We are
asking about a stop motion. His stop motion capture.
Not right now, but later on.
I just had to make the joke.
I don't know. I'm just messing with you. Guys, we appreciate everybody being here. With this panel, expect passionate opinions, great stories, friendly disagreements, and maybe even
That's
a
a
few
nice way of saying it.
That's right. And maybe even a few shocking upsets along the way. So grab your favorite drink. I'm sure Mr. Poletto's got one up there.
Yes, I do.
Jump into the live chat. Let us know who you're backing, and don't be afraid to challenge our picks. This is your tournament as much as it's ours. The debate starts now. So without any further delay, let's ring the damn bell. Ladies and gentlemen, what my question to you all is, where do you all want to start? Do you all want to start with the AEW side or the WCW side?
You're the host, my friend. You pick it.
Yeah, you pick it.
All right, well, we will get into it. Okay, but before we go around, I want to ask everybody real quick, when you think of a world champion, what do you think of? Do you think of the grit and, brashness of a Stone Cold? Do you think of that patriotic superhero like Hulk Hogan? Do you think of the, well-dressed, tailored suits like Ric Flair and Nick Bockwinkel? What is it that you all think of when you think of a world champion? We'll start with you, Mr. Andrew.
Well, the world champion, in my opinion, needs to be able to perform in the ring, whether it's 2 moves or 200 moves. They got to be able to perform in the ring and make it believable. They need to be able to have either they have to have the mic skills, or their manager or mouthpiece has to have the mic skills. So if they have a manager or mouthpiece, then they have to go hand in hand. There can't be feuding going on with the two. So I don't want to say it has to be well liked by the crowd, because that's a whole different story. If he either has to be well liked or well disliked, and you can't have somebody that doesn't get a response one way or the other. So he has to be, have great cheers or great boos, and however you want to look at it. So once you put those three things together, then there's a possibility that the champion can come about, and then it all depends on your personal preference on what you like, what you don't like at that point.
Well said. Well said. Mr. Chad Casey.
I mean, I couldn't say it any better.
Of course you couldn't.
My biggest thing is if you can't talk on the mic, you shouldn't be a champion regardless. I don't want to see a champion if they can't talk. You can be the greatest in-ring performer there is. If you can't talk, like you're bottom tier to me. And then of course you need to be great in the ring too. But I think the promos are where it's at.
Okay, JD.
I'm going to disagree with the savior, the self-proclaimed savior of pro wrestling, Chad Casey, a little bit. I don't think talking. It's better if they can talk on the mic. You're going to have a different popularity of wrestler if they can talk on the mic, I think. But I don't think that that's 100% necessary. I do think that you can have champions, and there have been champions who are not great on the mic, but who've still had good title reigns. Now, Dean Malenko's never been a world champion, but he was never good on the mic. But he was a great champion, TV champion, cruiserweight champion, and I didn't care that he couldn't talk on the mic. He could go in the ring, and that's what I see. For me, that's what I care more about. I want you to be able to go in the ring a little bit more. So, and for me, a world champion is someone that you want to be the leader of your company, or at least be one of the leaders of your company, because the world title can change hands and stuff. You can have more than one top guy. So, but it's got to be among the top guys. It's got to be somebody that you think can beat that role as the world champion. So I think it has to do with more back locker room stuff and in-ring stuff than mic skills, in my opinion.
Well said. Slam.
I don't think there's any certain formula for it, because we've obviously seen different champs, between Stone Cold to Kurt Angle to Booker T to Sting, and different people in between, and everybody's been different. I think having mic skills definitely helps, but I think we've seen good champs that wasn't exactly the best. Obviously Brock Lesnar had Paul Heyman, Undertaker had Paul Bearer, just to name a couple or whatever. But I don't know if it's. I mean, there's something. It's kind of like JD said. Like, you want to be the leader of your of the locker room. You want to be the leader of your promotion or whatever. So he's got to have something. I don't know exactly what it is, but all the really good ones have it. The Rocks, the Stone Colds, the Shawn Michaels, the Harts and stuff like that. But I don't think that there's a certain formula or a certain, because I think you can take something great out of everybody who's been a world champ for the most part and stuff, and be like, okay, this person did this really well, or this person did this, like whether we're talking about Shawn Michaels being a great entertainer, or Bret Hart being really technical, something like that or whatever. So to me, it's kind of hard to nail down, but there is that it. What it is, I don't know for sure.
Well said.
Yes, definitely well said. And see, I was going to say something to that point too, because I used to listen to the Road Dogg Jesse James' podcast all the time whenever I was at work, when I worked third shifts. And I think it kind of depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking, because wrestling has evolved over time to where there is the wrestling side of it, and there is the sports entertainment side of it. And Road Dogg brought up a point, because somebody asked the Road Dogg on his show, they said, are you a better wrestler than Bret Hart? He said, no. He said, but I am a better sports entertainer. He said, I'm more entertaining on the mic. I'm more entertaining, doing the other stuff. Bret Hart is the better wrestler in the ring. He said, there's no doubt about it. He said, so ever since I heard him say that, I've kind of looked at the business in a different way. Well, not even the business, just certain individuals. Are you an entertainer? Are you a wrestler? Or are you a good combination of both? Because there are those out there too, like a Chris Jericho, people like that who, he can get on the mic and he can go with the best of them, but he can also get in the ring and go with the best of them. So it's kind of a give and take on that, and I do 100% agree. Before we go any further, I forgot, I have to tell you this, Uncle Slingham. This was sent to me earlier by the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Sean Johns. As we all know, he's a good friend of ours. He's also a referee for KWF. Go check him out.
Now. Congratulations.
I keep trying to have him on the show, but we can't seem to get it to work out
right
in terms of time or whatever.
So this is a conversation between a barista at Starbucks and a customer, and he sent this to me. So I felt inclined to add it today.
I know where this is going already. You ain't even got to say nothing. I already know. But just go ahead. Just go ahead.
It says barista at Starbucks. How bitter do you like your coffee? Me, Bret Hart. Barista, I'm going to need you to sign a waiver.
Wow.
I knew the hate was coming somewhere.
I had to add it in there. I had to take. Hey, I got him for you, Sean. I got him for you, buddy. All righty, guys. I thought it was too. I think we're going to go ahead and get the arguing out of the way for the most part. So we're going to start this thing off with the AEW side of the bracket. And by the way, let me explain to everybody how we're doing this. We have 8 different companies that we are. Not we. I don't want to say that. We kind of took a different approach from it. We tried this a while ago and got votes from everybody. That was kind of a train wreck. So I just based everything, all the contenders for their company. I based it on 3 categories. It was number of reigns, length of reigns, and drawing power as far as money. So, and these are all the people that it came up with and everything. And I'm not going to lie, I used a little bit of AI for it too. So that's how we did. I determined who was going to be in the tournament and everything, just so everybody knows. But we've got 8 different companies. We're going to narrow each company down to their greatest champion, and then everybody is going to continue on in a later tournament. We're not doing all that tonight. This is a series we're going to get done. But we are starting with the AEW bracket, and the first match tonight, guys, is going to be Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page, and we are going to start with Mr. Andrew, the bald guy. Who you got winning this and why?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Adam Page wrestle, so couldn't tell you much about it. I kind of like Moxley. I liked him as Dean Ambrose. I like him as Jon Moxley. Is he the smoothest guy out there? No, not at all. Is he the most technical? No, not at all. But again, I can't compare him to Adam Page because I've never seen Adam Page. I mean, the highlights here and there, yeah, but never watched any matches. So that being said, just by default, I got to go with Mox.
Okay, so we got one Mox, Mr. Chad Casey.
I got to go with Jon Moxley. I'm not an Adam Page fan. Like, his music hits and I flip the channel. Like, he's just boring to me. I mean, obviously he's good or he wouldn't be on mainstream, but to me, he's just boring. I loved Mox's latest title run, locking the title in the briefcase and holding it hostage. Like, that's top tier heel work to me. So I got to go with Mox.
All right. We got, what is it, 2 for Mox? Bad Guy J.D.
Well, let's credit myself and Mayhem Media for helping with the visuals in this
This is
episode.
true. Yes, yes.
And I'll be providing J-Mac with updated visuals as we go through the brackets. But yeah, listen, Hangman Adam Page is fine. He can definitely go in the ring. I've never been the biggest fan of his. He's an AEW original. He had 1 or 2 title reigns, I believe. So, he's fine. But again, Moxley, I like Moxley. Moxley is he's a brawler. He's not like a technical wrestler. He's not going to be doing a lot of high flying stuff, but he's a brawler. And maybe he bleeds a little too frequently, but that's also part of his hard nosed gimmick and stuff. So you can make the same argument for Ric Flair. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Moxley as well.
Well, before we get going any further to Uncle Slam here, that's 3 for Moxley, by the way. Bobby Blaze said on the WCW side, Brock's Boulder said Bobby Blaze on the WCW side by a mile. There was a lot of B's right there to get out. But yeah, he loves him some Bobby Blaze. And if you don't know, Bobby Blaze is one of the trainers at Aftermath Pro, which is where Mr. Chad Casey is, and he's got some shows coming up, and we'll let him get to that later on, but you need to go see him. But Uncle Slam, who you got?
All right, like I said, I went kind of the analytical way. I kind of did like you did. I went by length of reigns. I kind of went by like who they beat. I went by title reigns also and shit. So that's kind of also just to preference this. I'm not a huge AEW fan. I follow it. I will.
Hey! We're not saying that.
Like I said, I will lean more to people that know better. Obviously, JD knows more about AEW, so if I'm wrong, correct me. I'm just putting that out there. But I think this is pretty easy. I think it's Moxie by a wide margin. Like I said, when I was doing research, he's like a 5-time champ. To 2 on I think Page. His reign 277 days. He beat like Jericho, CM Punk. He beat Daniel Bryan twice. I think it's pretty easy. Yeah, it's Moxie by a mile.
Well, my vote doesn't really matter, but I'm still going to get in what I got to say too. But no, I'm with the bald guy up there, not the bad guy, the bald guy. I'm with him. I liked Moxley better in the WWE, and it's not because of the WWE. I don't care if he was named Moxley or Dean Ambrose. I don't care about that. My thing is I think he goes too far with there's so much of the blood and the death
matches and stuff like that.
Yes, and that's my only drawback to him. I like Moxley. I like the fact, and I don't mean this in any disrespect. I mean, it's what's always going to happen when you've already had the original. But I feel like he's this generation's kind of like a poor man's Stone Cold. He's that anti-authority, he's for him first at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And he's kind of got a DTA type of attitude in the modern day era. Moxley wins this by a mile. I'm not, again, like Savior of Wrestling said, I'm not a huge fan of Hangman. I had a whole lot of hope for him when he first came out and when he first started, but it kind of dwindled quick. It just seemed like it fizzled so quick that there was really nowhere to go with it and everything. So I feel like they're trying to still push him a little bit when they're not seeing the writing on the wall that maybe he's just better at the mid-card level and stay there and, deal with him there. And maybe in 10 years or whatever, he can get a little bit better and, whatever happens, and he can have a couple more runs or something. But for right now, Moxley takes this all day long.
I'd also like to point out that right now, Adam Page has not been on TV for several months now.
Yeah. I
believe he's out with injury. I believe he had an injury, and so he's been out. But probably, I want to say 5 months, maybe now at this point.
Well, I just read a rumor article, and of course, again, it is a rumor article, but it said that AEW is seriously considering trimming down some of their roster so that they can get to a smaller, more compact roster.
I think
And
that would be a good move.
I do too. I honestly and truthfully, that's one of my criticisms in their storytelling. Is just there's so many people that it's hard to, you got so many people sitting on the sidelines when they're not involved with nothing. But they're not the only ones that's doing it by any means, and that, I'm not saying that. I hate when both of them are doing it. They're buying up people,
Exactly,
just sitting them down. And it's stupid. Exactly. It makes no sense. Let them go. Why we should have it if we can't do nothing with them in one company, can't do nothing with them in the other. Let them go to TNA and bring it up to something too, so on and so forth. I don't mean to get off on a tangent. We'll get to the next match. Sorry. Let's see. We got the bad guy JD's favorite wrestler, CM Punk, versus my favorite current wrestler, and I think he's going to go down as one of the best all time.
Wow.
MJF.
J-Mac, we agree on something.
We need to go take our temperature right now, man.
Something's wrong, bro. Yeah, one of us is very ill. Well,
we're going to start backwards this time, and we're going to go with Uncle Slam on this one to start.
All right. I hate to say it, but I kind of agree with you guys on this. I feel like MJF is the future. CM Punk, don't want to say he's the past, but I kind of feel like he's the past. I mean, he was great. I think he was a 2-time champ. I think MJF is a 3-time. And I just see MJF just getting better and better. You know what I mean? Like his last match was a banger and shit. He's great on the mic. I mean, he's in, character 24/7. He's what a lot of people love about old school wrestling or whatever and stuff. So I don't see how you can go wrong with him.
So we got one for MJF. JD.
Yeah, I don't even think CM Punk should be recognized or be in this tournament as an AEW world champion. I think that in his entire run in AEW was a farce. And I think it was completely laughable. And the worst thing that AEW has ever done actually was getting him and letting that whole thing even unfold the way it did. The worst, that is a black mark on AEW, and they've been trying to move past it ever since. And it also doesn't help that he went back to WWE and became the champion. Cody Rhodes, who AEW also lost, also the champion. Like it's definitely not good, but I don't even consider AEW's or CM Punk's right in AEW as a champion. So
I'm going to go ahead and put him down for MJF.
Yeah. MJF.
Why you say that for?
Oh, I don't know. Just had a feeling, as he was talking, just something kept bubbling up right here.
Yeah. And MJF, and I agree with Slam. He's the future. He and J-Mac. I think he is going to be one of the greatest champions that we're talking about in 10 or 15 years from now. Absolutely, 100%.
Mr. Casey.
Oh, I would love to pick CM Punk.
You don't want to come back to my show, do you, Val?
if it wasn't AEW bracket, I would pick CM Punk. But MJF's second title reign was like 110 days, something like that. And it was longer than both of CM Punk's title reigns combined. And
illegitimate title reigns.
And then MJF's first title reign was like 400 days. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
that's the record, ain't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then now he's a 3-time champion. His latest title reign was like a couple weeks, but one of the best in the business, if not the best heel in the business right now.
100%.
I think it hands down goes to MJF.
All right, so that's 3 for MJF. Mr. Poletto.
Man, oh man, oh man. Now, you guys know that I am a huge CM Punk fan. I know JD doesn't get it, but I'm a huge CM Punk fan. But I will have to agree with the bad guy JD on this one. CM Punk, when it comes to AEW and championships, should not even be considered in that in the fold at all. And again, I'm a huge CM Punk fan, but if we're talking about champions, he can't be listed in here. He just can't. Title reigns weren't very long. no. But so I got to go with MJF on this one. Unfortunately, I got to go that route.
Oh, makes sense.
I already advanced him in the bracket, by the way.
So, hold on, I do
going
want to
no
look at
matter
something
what.
here while we're on the subject, so that way I can look and see.
The last one, this last match, that's actually the one that I haven't done yet. Like I
So-
know it's gonna be Moxley, MJF. Oh no, this one I do
So,
have also picked, but
the-
the last one I don't. That's
The
the one
problem,
I'm not sure about.
the problem is that Moxley is the only 4-time champion, and then everybody else under him is either 1 or 2. So there's just so many people that are compiled. You know what I'm saying? And and I think honestly and truthfully, whenever I put everything in and asked it to pick it up, the reason it picked was because I just think CM Punk, when his initial "I'm here," was big drawing money. And then after, it kind of wore off, whatever, and it didn't last long. And I agree with that part
I
of it.
thought he got injured or something.
No, that was whenever he came back to the WWE, he blew his tricep out. But I think had CM Punk been there, but you got to think too, a lot of these people ain't been there very long either. Would it be fair to put CM Punk in over Bryan Danielson? Or vice versa. It's just people. There's not a lot of people who's lasted long unless you get into the Kenny Omegas and everything, which I guess at the time that it done this, it didn't take into account that he is a 2-time champion now as well. But because I would have put him in before CM Punk. And I agree with JD. I've never really been, I don't want to say I don't see CM Punk. I understand what, he was, especially when he first came out, that whole, hardcore straight edge stuff that was going on, but I was never a fan. So, I mean, for me, it's MJF all day long because he's, like I said, he's my favorite in the business today.
Absolutely.
All righty, getting on to the next match, we have got. Oh, we did put Danielson in here. I'll say, but
Yeah, Samoa Joe and Danielson. Not a bad match.
Yeah, honestly and truthfully, I hadn't memorized this one. I'm just looking. So Samoa Joe and Bryan Danielson, and we are going to start with Mr. Poletto this time, and we'll let you go first, sir.
Okay, I have a question here. Wait a second.
Yes, sir.
Samoa Joe. Are we just going strictly on world titles or what? Because
Yes.
Okay, all right. So does the world television title can't count?
See, I've always thought I've always said it's a world title myself. Now, is it the company's world championship? No, you're the world champion of television. You know what I'm saying? The world champion is the world champion of.
Well, here's why I asked, because I just looked it up as we were talking here about Samoa Joe, because I like Samoa Joe. I really do. He's had AEW World Championships 2 reigns, AEW TNT Championship 2 reigns, AEW World Trios Championship 1 reign, Ring of Honor World Television Championship 1 reign, and a total of 1,076 days of being a champion. So
That's not even counting all his TNA stuff too.
Mhm.
yeah, so
Yeah,
we're not counting all that. We're just
but I-
have to look at
But
the
ain't the criteria
AEW.
just AEW? So all that
AEW,
TNA, all the other
Yeah,
shit is a non-factor. It's like
Well, no,
Can't
it was,
present that
it was
core,
all
I'm thinking.
AEW because our Ring of Honor is under the AEW.
Oh yeah, that's true
Man.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the AEW TNT Championship is
Oh,
AEW.
Khan owns Ring of Honor, and they defend on AEW
I know,
shows.
but
Yeah.
I thought we were just doing world championships because if that's the case, then that throws everything off. That changes my math there.
Well, no. I'm saying it is just world championships. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about world television championships or tag.
That's what I'm
teams or-
asking. So we're
Okay.
not talking about that.
No. Just world titles.
Well, this is let's see, because Danielson, and I just looked it up, is 48 days as world champion, and gee whiz, I'm not putting anything against Danielson, but I don't see it with him either. Yeah, he's a good technical wrestler. I think his mic skills, I don't like them. I'm not saying they're not any good. I just don't like his mic skills. I think Samoa Joe is overlooked I think he's extremely underrated. I think he's one of the best in the business. Maybe not now at his age, but even 5 years ago, he was by far one of the best in the business. So on this one between him and Danielson, I got to stick with Samoa Joe.
All right, one for Joe. Casey.
Samoa Joe by a mile.
Okay.
He ended the record-breaking championship reign by MJF. Held it for 100 days after that. Danielson, like Andrew said, 48 days. Samoa Joe's second reign was like 35. So to me, it's just easily Samoa Joe.
I will. J-Mac?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I just wanted to make. I didn't know if
Did that fix what you told me?
No.
Okay. Keep going then.
Okay.
Wait a second. J-Mac, did you get my private message I sent you?
No, but I just Facebook messaged to Andrew, so we're tag teaming it. We're tag teaming it, buddy.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and keep your thing going.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he's working on diagnosing the issue. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with also Samoa Joe. Well, I'm a fan of Danielson. I don't know necessarily about the greatest world champion of all time, even in WWE. I think it's great that he was one of those fan people. The fans pushed him, and without the fans, Danielson doesn't become world champion in either company. So I respect that about him. But over Samoa Joe, I just can't do that. I could never actually do that. So yeah, Samoa Joe all day.
All righty, Uncle Slam.
I think it's going to be a clean sweep. I've never got what everybody got about Daniel Bryanson or whatever his name is in WWE or AEW. It's kind of like JD said, it was the fans that pushed him, and I was never a fan, so I never got it. He's a hell of a wrestler. I mean, like, I don't take away that he's got skills, but I just don't see him as a world champ. He obviously got him one against, I think it was Swerve Strickland or whatever it was. But I'm a fan of Samoa Joe from way back, and I like him in AEW too, and I'm pretty sure he's a two-time champ, so two's bigger than one. So Samoa Joe easily.
Well, once again, my pick doesn't count, but
And you fixed your problem, by the way. You just fixed it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I was just waiting on a message back from JD to find out.
Just confirmed it for him. Yep, just confirmed it for him, Andrew.
Apparently, I was using the wrong microphone this whole time. But
safety first, then teamwork.
That's right. Go Joe. Shout out to Sergeant Slaughter, man. Come on the show, Sarge. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with you guys, even though it's already settled. Samoa Joe definitely takes this. I like Danielson as far as, like, I think he's a great technical wrestler, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the reason I do have a little soft spot for him is because, if I'm not mistaken, he was trained by Shawn Michaels. So, I mean, anybody that's trained by my boy, I'm gonna give them a little bit of credit, because I know they at least got if they're not doing something with what he taught them, and I'm not just saying because it's Shawn Michaels, but I am saying,
yes, you are.
Well, I am.
I know,
I'm not saying.
That's exactly why you're saying it.
I'm not saying it because of the fact that he's my favorite wrestler in this instance. I'm saying it because of the fact that he is a well-respected wrestler who knows what he's doing. If he's training anybody, then if they're not doing it and getting it, then it's got to be on them, just like anybody else, a Brett or somebody like that. If they're telling you what to do and you're not doing it, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And you're not at least getting something's wrong. And that's what I meant, But yeah, Joe all the way. Joe's just, to be as big as he is and to be able to move the way the man can, it's, they missed big opportunities with him and Brock, is all I'm going to say.
Oh, big time. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
All righty. And on to the next one, guys. So hold on. Let's do a little recap. So far, we've got Moxley, MJF, and Samoa Joe moving on to the second round. For the last match in the first round, we have got Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega Yeah, Uncle Slam, I'm gonna let you start this one because I got a lot to say about this. Not a lot to say about it, but I got
a lot to say. He said, I'm gonna have to go with Kenny Omega on this one. I know Jericho was the first champ, so that gives him a little. But besides that, I just like I said, I think Omega had like one of the second longest reign. I think he was like 340 days compared to I think Jericho that was maybe 182.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I hate to say it, I'm not a huge Jericho fan. I've never been. I agree he's got talented and he's good at what he does, but I'm just not one of his fans. And like I said, two's bigger than one, so I'm going to go with Kenny Omega. And plus, I think Jericho's kind of his role now is just kind of let people get over. You know, he's kind of like letting young guys beat them, so that way, you know, it makes them look better. So he's going with good wrestling.
So we got one for Omega. We're going to change up the order a little bit here. Mr. Casey, go ahead.
I got to go with Kenny Omega. 346 days. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the second longest reign. Two-time champ Jericho. Yeah, he was the first champion. Like, it does make me want to like give him that extra boost, but Omega's first run was just amazing to me. The belt collector, pairing the AEW title with the TNA world title at the same time, like it couldn't have got better.
All right, so we got two for Omega. All righty, let's go with Bad Guy.
All right. I'm going to actually go against the grain here, and I'm going to pick Jericho. I think if you ask me this question again, though, in 2 months' time, my answer likely changes to Kenny Omega. I think the reign that he's going on now, because he just won the belt back from MJF, and because he's going to go against not Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay at All In. They're setting that up. That's going to be a huge show. People are going to be throwing thousands of dollars at the stadium so that they can get in on that to see that match.
Where can I get a ticket?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So I think if you ask me this again in like 2 or 3 months, I think I likely pick Kenny Omega. But I still think Jericho, not just him being the first champion, but I don't know without Jericho, does AEW make it to who was after Jericho and who was after that. I don't know that without Jericho, they make it past that initial, hey, we're starting a brand new wrestling federation on national television. So I don't know that they make it past that or even get that deal without the kind of star power that Jericho had. So I'm going to pick Jericho for the tournament.
I mean, that's a good point. Like, he did beat Adam Page for that title. So
Right.
put Adam Page as the first champion. Like, you don't have an AEW today.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I think I'm going to give it to Jericho, just because I think without Jericho being the first world champion, they didn't have anybody else that could take the company forward. And Jericho's a great loser, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't deny that.
Yeah,
Jericho's one of the best in-ring performers that we've ever seen, and he is awesome at losing.
Mm-hmm.
Every time someone beats him, he is putting them over. He's going crazy. You've seen him throw temper tantrums. You see him, pick up the mic and start yelling at people. He's a great loser. So I think without him, you don't put over the next guy. And then without that, there is no the next and the next. So, yeah.
Andrew?
You know what JD, the bad guy, just said is almost took the words right out of my mouth. I haven't seen enough of Kenny Omega to know if I like him or not, honestly. Ooh. But without Jericho, heading up at the beginning of AEW's life, I don't think there would be an AEW right now, at least not as we know it. Put it that way. So you can make a strong argument just from that to say that he is the greatest champion, because without him, there might not be any other champions going on in there. So I got to give kudos to JD, because he said exactly what I was going to say on that one. So I'll go with Jericho as well.
Tied it up.
I was getting ready to say that. I get to be the tiebreaker. All righty. I know it. Let's see. Let's see how I'm gonna do this. I said I had a lot to say.
You had a lot to say too.
All right. So I agree with everything everybody said about, especially about Chris Jericho. Jericho is probably going to go down as an underrated equal to somebody like a Shawn Michaels, as far as being that athletic, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to compare him to Shawn Michaels, but that's the only person I know of that was like that size and that, you know, the abilities that they had. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they were exactly the same or anything like that. I think Dolph Ziggler's more of a comparison to Shawn Michaels than Jericho in ring, but just what they brought to the table. But I think Jericho is not going to be as respected as he should be, you know, by the entire community of wrestling. There's going to be your individuals in your little pockets that are going to be like, y'all are dumb, man. Jericho's like top 10 all time, you know. So, you know, they're going to be able to make a good argument for it. The only problem I have with this matchup is we're basing it on just AEW. And in just AEW, Jericho is 30 years older. If it had been 20 years ago, I would pick Chris Jericho every day and twice on Sunday. But because it's the time it is, and again, I don't know much about Kenny Omega, but I do know the reputation that's, you know, has followed him. And that reputation is, for a period, they were calling him the best wrestler in the world. I just think he takes it if we're talking only AEW. So I got to give my vote to Kenny Omega. And I know that's kind of controversial and everything, but if we're talking about right now, then yeah, Kenny Omega's younger, you know, faster, and Jericho's in his 50s now. It's just the, you know, anybody got anything to say about the Omega winning?
Well, and I'm not against that whatsoever, but what you just said goes against everything that we've been talking about. If you're saying what their age is now, it's not going to be the greatest of all times then, because you have to look at their full body of work, not what their age is right now.
We're narrowing it down right now in just this company. Once
right.
We get
that's what I mean. Right.
Once
once you start throwing age in there, well, that's a whole different ballgame then. Because of course, a 50-year-old Jericho,
yeah, but everybody's going to
compete with a 30-year-old Omega. Of course, he's not.
Right, but everybody's going to analyze it different. You know, Uncle Slam went with this, you know, looking at the stats and stuff like that. You know, right? He more analytic and everything. I'm just looking at it from their time in that sport, or in that, you know, not discrediting anything else that Chris Jericho has ever done. That's the reason why he's in the conversation.
Okay,
but it's because of the fact that where he is right now, I would take Omega over him. Like I said, if this was 20 years ago, you know, it would be a different story to me. Big time different story. But that's how I based my decision. Okay. That's the fun of this, is you don't have to go by, everybody doesn't have to go by the same criteria. You use your own criteria to determine who you would put over, is kind of the way. Yeah, maybe I should have explained that a little bit better. All righty. So do you all want to continue with this one, or y'all want to go to the first round of the other one?
I guess might as well finish up there. Saying,
yeah. With the company.
I
just sent you, J-Mac, I just sent you a new visual.
Okay. Well, talk amongst yourselves for a second, guys. Where'd you send it to, brother?
Headlocks. Do you want me to send it to you?
No. That's perfect. That's exactly what I thought. Just send it to. Yeah.
So while he's doing that, where's everybody located? I'm in Indiana, a little town called Clinton, Indiana.
Ironton, Ohio.
Where?
Ironton, Ohio.
Where's that?
Pretty much the very southern tip, where Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia all meet.
So you're close to Cincinnati?
No, I'm 2.5 hours, 3 hours away from there.
Okay.
So I'm more like east from
Okay.
Cincinnati.
All right.
All righty, I'm getting
I'm
it
from
up here.
Pennsylvania. But you already know that, Andrew.
Well, I know that, but the viewers may not know that.
Oh, I didn't. I see. I thought you were like literally asking questions. I didn't realize you were vamping. I should have been on the spot there with that. But
Well, because
Yeah.
J Mac asked us to talk amongst ourselves, so
you're
that's
right.
what we're
Yeah,
doing.
yes,
There you
I'm
go,
from
there you go.
Pennsylvania in the Northeast. Slam.
And me and the legend are both from Kentucky. I'm more central Kentucky, a little bit south than I am.
I'm a little more south, so starting to get south central. Yeah.
That's
All
where I
righty,
am. Pretty
guys.
much in Pennsylvania is in South Central Pennsylvania, right outside the capital.
Any thoughts on the first round, guys, before we move on to the second? Uncle Slam, Mr. Casey.
Just that everybody pretty much agreed on everything except for one.
Which is
Yep.
Yeah.
That's about it, really.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, the Omega.
No, I wasn't expecting the
just
first
most
three
of
rounds.
the we all kind of agreed with.
Kind of swept
Now,
through.
I think it'll be different with
Mhm.
WCW.
Oh, big time different. WCW. All righty, getting to the second round. Anybody else? Andrew, Bad Guy, you got
No.
anything to say?
No, I'm
First
good.
round.
You're
All
good.
righty. Second round's popping up, and we've got John Moxley. This is going to be interesting. John Moxley versus MJF. Now, I'm actually going to jump in and start this one here because I absolutely love this matchup. I think it's two competing styles. I think it would be a matchup of Moxley's danger versus MJF and his talking and his I don't know. I just these two are such opposites that I think this matchup would be an excellent match just because and nothing else about it, just the opposite fact of one's like the grungy type guy and the other one's like a rich, pretty boy and everything that can just out wrestle you and out talk you and do everything better than you, blah blah blah. I love it. So oh man, this is hard, but I'm going to give it to MJF. I got to. I love MJF. Let's see, Uncle Slam, I'll let you go second.
All right. Now this one really is kind of tough, and I was kind of worried about this. I want to say MJF because I know he is the future. He's a 3-time champ. He always gives the best matches, But at the same time, I look at Moxley, 5-time champ or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Had a ton of great matches. So the easiest way would probably say Moxley or whatever, but I want to say MJF just because I know that he's going to get more titles very, very soon. Like I said, I mean, like it's coming, whether it's a year from now, 2 years, whatever it is, like he's going to have more championships than Moxley. But I can't go by that right now. I have to go by what the information tells me right now. And I'm going to go with Moxley on this, even though, he's kind of the past and MJF is definitely the future. But I'm going to go with Moxley right now.
Okay. Who you got? Let's see. Let's change it up again. We'll go with Mr. Andrew.
Oh, geez. This is, I don't know how to pick these two. They both like the blood and guts routine going into the matches. They like that. MJF is probably one of the best heels right now, if not the best heel, at least in the top 3 in the whole planet in terms of wrestling that I know of. At least, I can't speak for Japan wrestling and everything else, but at least in the U.S., put it that way, he's if not the top, by far in the top 3. Moxley could have been, but just for AEW purposes, I think you have to give it to MJF. Since we're at the AEW purposes, I got to stay with MJF for this one. And I don't know why. You say you asked me in 2 weeks from now, I could say I like Moxley better, but no, I got to go with MJF.
So am I correct? And we got 2 for MJF, 1 for
Yeah.
Moxley?
Yep.
Okay. All righty. Let's go with Mr. Casey.
This is such a hard one. You've got the 5 reigns for Mox, but 3 of them was like 50 days or less. Looking at it, you've got his first reign at 277. The second reign was 59. The third was 11. The fourth was 273. No, I missed one somewhere. But I mean, it's just, and then you've got 400 for MJF and 100 on his second one, and then 30 some on the third.
It's hard. It's
yeah,
hard.
it is hard. Like the 3 reigns of not passing 60, and then the one being just 11 days. Like I just feel like you can't really count that as like. I mean, yeah, he won it, but like I mean that feels like somebody like 2 people dating for 11 days. Like you can't count that as a relationship. Like you can't really count that as a world championship reign. So
Hey, but you know, in middle school, you was counting every one, man. Me and her went out for 2 days, man. We went out for 2 days, man. That was my girl.
Absolutely. The 400-day reign, like I can't get past that one. Like I think I gotta go with MJF for the 400.
All righty. So we got 3 MJs and 1 Mox, and we're gonna end it with you, Bad Guy.
And we know where this is going.
I already did the brackets, just so you know, for both matches. I already got them both done. Definitely, I'm gonna pick MJF for the same reason that I picked Jericho in the last round. If there was no Jericho, there wouldn't be any AEW back then. We wouldn't have an AEW now. Without MJF, we wouldn't see what we have now in AEW. So Jericho was the beginning of AEW. MJF is the present of AEW. So MJF.
All righty. Well said. Well, guys, we are on to the final match of the second round. We are going to be in the finals of this bracket here in just a moment. We've got Samoa Joe versus Kenny Omega. We're just going to go clockwise and start with Mr. Poletto.
Samoa Joe.
Okay. That was sweet. Fast.
I don't have like I said, I haven't watched Kenny Omega enough. I'm just a fan of Samoa Joe, and I said he's extremely underrated, and I think he can do it all. So he can be a heel, he can be a face, he can be. He has the mouthpiece. He can go in the ring. He has the strength. He has the agility. He's got it all. So, and I'm not saying that Omega does not have that. I just have not watched him enough to know. So, based on my knowledge, I got to go with Joe.
All righty, Mr. Casey.
I got to go with Joe.
Wow.
Partly because he's one of my all-time favorites, but he ended MJF's 400-day reign. He can, like Andrew said, he can be a heel, he can be a face, he can be a high flyer, he can be the big man, he can be a mouthpiece. The dude is just a jack of all trades. Kenny's the best bout machine. I really haven't heard it in AEW, but he was in New Japan. I've seen it a little bit in AEW, but I got to go with Joe.
Wow.
Okay. So we got 2 Joe, no Omega, and we are going to go to the Bad Guy J.D.
Yeah, actually, I might have got this pick wrong then when I made the visual, because I'm definitely picking Kenny Omega.
Oh, I already filled out the brackets on the way through.
I don't know how. I honestly, I made the assumption some of you guys knew what you were talking about. You guys spoiled me with the first half of the tournament. How you guys don't see Kenny Omega and MJF in the finals of this tournament being representing AEW's modern day right now and actually legitimizing this bracket that J-Mac has put together, in my opinion, I think Kenny Omega has to be the pick for so many different reasons. Samoa Joe is not, if you included his whole career, Samoa Joe all day, Samoa Joe, not in just AEW. Kenny Omega has been way more pivotal for AEW's success and everything they've been doing, way more than Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe got his title reigns, and that's great. I don't ever see him being the world champion again in AEW. There are way too many young, hungry guys right now. I would not put the belt back on Samoa Joe. So I think Samoa Joe's time has passed, and he should not be. I would not pick him. It's got to be Kenny Omega, because I think the finals of MJF against Kenny Omega represents exactly what AEW has today. It's today's AEW, the best of both. MJF is the top heel of the company. Kenny Omega is by far the top face of the company. It has to be MJF against Kenny Omega.
Uncle Slam.
I think JD just took the words right out of my mouth pretty much on this one. I totally agree with everything he just said about Kenny Omega. Technically they both have 2 championships. I see Kenny Omega being more AEW than like Samoa Joe. I think he means more to him. I think that if we were talking careers, like you said, then yeah, like Samoa Joe. If we're talking like ECW, Samoa Joe, all day, every day. But if we're just talking about AEW and the small thing of just AEW, I think that Kenny Omega means more. I think title runs, I think what he's done for the company means more than like Samoa Joe.
Kenny Omega is the champion right now too. So
yes,
I don't know if that was part of your stats that you put.
Yeah, the greatest champion of all times, though.
No. I wanted to make sure people were counting that he's a current champion.
Right. But we got to focus just on the match in front of us, not the all-time part till the end. You see what I'm saying? Right now, we're just trying to get through each match as
I understand that. No, I'm talking of all times in AEW, though. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Uncle Slam, were you done?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm gonna point to that. I'm glad you brought that up, because that goes to my point. AEW is not I know I give them hell. I really do. I'm not going to lie. But my biggest opposition with AEW is just, is kind of my biggest opposition with WWE is I wish that Vince would have got out of the way, and I wish the owners would get out of the way and let the wrestling people do the wrestling stuff. Not that Vince wasn't a wrestling guy, but there's a time when you have to step away and say, hey, it's time for somebody else to do it. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing that with, TKO taking over. They're doing everything, and it's horrible. Everything is horrible in WWE right now. I just think when the owners who aren't wrestling people are involved, it doesn't benefit it. But in saying that, I think AEW is such a young company that you have to judge things in a different way with them. They don't have the legacy of, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, Ric Flair, Harley Race, all these names for these other companies that have a whole, and especially the companies that are in this, that have historic champions and performers. They're still kind of the young bucks in this. No pun intended.
Throw out there. I like that.
But so I think you have to measure it differently when you're looking at these champions, because I'm looking at it right here, and like you all were arguing about Chris Jericho. Jericho was the first champion. He's got one reign, but his championship reign was long, and it was important for it to be long because it gave the legitimacy to that world championship. So because their company is so, young, you have to take things like that into account, even though he's not only a one-time champion compared to a Moxley's 4-time champion. But in saying that, I agree with what both Uncle Slam and JD said. It's it's about AEW right now. And we're narrowing down the greatest AEW champion to get to the greatest heavyweight champion of all time throughout all the companies in this tournament. And with just what has happened in the AEW, then I have to go with Omega because Samoa Joe's part was so small. And that's the only thing and I don't mean that in any, weird way, but Samoa Joe just he wasn't, if we're talking about TNA or something like that, all day long. But we're talking about AEW, and Kenny Omega is one of the future of AEW. So it's going to Kenny Omega for me.
So your bracket is still good there, bad guy.
Visual
I saved you, bro. I saved you on that one. I got you, homie.
The good thing is, even if I got some of these wrong, copy and paste is real easy. Once you get the image built, advancing the brackets is minimal effort.
Remember,
this episode partly produced by Mayhem Media.
So after the second round, let's go around. Give me a quick take, everybody, about what y'all think of the second round. Let's start with Mr. Casey over here. We ain't heard from him in a second.
I'm good with the second round. I mean, the Samoa Joe, Kenny Omega. That's a hard one. I definitely feel like Kenny Omega is AEW's future. But I don't know if I necessarily agree with JD saying that Samoa Joe may not get another title reign. Omega's first title reign was in 21. His second one was just now. Samoa Joe just had one, ended in December 27th of 25, not even 7 months ago. So story-wise, probably not logistically, but it is Tony Khan. So I definitely feel like there could be a third title reign.
He might get that final one. You're right.
Yeah, he got inserted into that title reign kind of seamlessly and shockingly, in my opinion. And I'm a huge fan of him. I loved the fact that he got in there, but that's just I went with Joe just because he's my favorite. But
don't worry, I'm going to be doing that when we get to WCW. So
there's nothing wrong. I know. Look, I can already tell you who's in the finals for WCW when we're with JD. Sting is already in the finals.
I've already advanced them all the way to the finals in the bracket, so you don't even need over those.
I would like to just show how unbiased I was with this because my favorite wrestler didn't even make it into this tournament. Shawn Michaels is not even in this tournament.
He's not even in the, now you're talking. All right, I got to step away for just a second. Not related to J-Mac, so I'll be right back. But what are you saying?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
How can you not have him in there?
That's how because he's only a 4-time champion, and there's so many champions ahead of him. I did it as I took my criteria and I used it. I was unbiased.
Well, then how did you get CM Punk for the AEW one?
Because he's a 2-time champion.
Yeah.
And
don't they have other 2-time champions?
Moxley is 4, Adam Page is 2, Punk is 2, MJF is 2, Samoa Joe's 2, and Bryan Danielson's 2. All of them made these are all the champions. And then Chris Jericho has 1 and Kenny Omega has 1. That's the 8 people.
Cody Rhodes has 1 as well, doesn't he? Or does he have 2?
Cody Rhodes was never AEW.
Oh, he wasn't?
He had the TNT.
No. Okay. He pigeonholed himself into that company whenever he first got into it as a owner, because he told him he would never win the title. He even did a storyline, lost the match, so there was nowhere for him to go. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. All righty. Well, we're going to get these finals started, and JD will be back in just a moment, hopefully. And yes, we have got the last round, which is MJF versus Kenny Omega. Uncle Slam, tell us what you think.
All right. I'm just going to be honest. I'm a little upset that Moxley didn't make it because he was going to be my pick over MJF, but I'm okay. I do like MJF. I do like Kenny Omega too, but like I said, if we're gonna talk about it, Kenny Omega's champ right now. MJF just lost it, but it's not like he's not gonna get it back. He's obviously gonna have a long title reign eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna have multiple title reigns. These guys are
just
really,
a second. I was going to say, just keep going clockwise around. I got to step away for just 1 second.
okay. So on this one, I'm going to go with MJF. As much as it kind of hurts me a little bit, I think he's the future. I think him being a 3-time champ kind of gives him the edge, and I think with him at the helm, I think that they're going to go far and shit. Like I said, I think there's a lot of people that love MJF because of who he is. I think he's like almost like a brand new like Ric Flair type of deal and shit with the self confidence and how, you know, I guess bougie he is or whatever you want to call him and stuff. So yeah, MJF on this one. I think you said what, clockwise.
Yeah. Oh, clockwise, then I guess it would be me, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Me up here. Okay. That's for you youngsters that don't know that clockwise goes like that, or I guess as we're looking at it this way, it goes like this.
Well, everybody's digital now, so
yeah, I can say everything's digital now. There is no clockwise. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, again, I don't know enough about Kenny Omega. I can't speak much about him. I like MJF's promos that he does. Even though I think he's a little long-winded sometimes, he can shorten them up by half and get the same point across. So I'll stick with MJF on this one.
All right, we got 2 MJFs right now.
I got to make it 3 for MJF.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got to stick with the 400-day reign. I mean, to be the record holder for the longest reign, like, I mean, and then with as young as he is, he's going to be, if he stays with AEW, he's going to be a 10-time champion easily.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He could probably be a 10-time champion before Omega becomes a 5-time champion. So I gotta go with MJF, honestly, by a landslide.
Yeah. And plus, look at the people he's beat too, also and stuff. I mean, like MJF pretty much beat everybody there is, I think, as far as in the world title picture.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also going to. I already sent the visual to J-Mac just so everybody knows. This is with MJF at the top of at the end of the tournament. So I had a feeling it was going to go that way, and I'm absolutely MJF over Kenny Omega. I think they're both the top of the company right now, but I think MJF is going to be the future and much more long term.
I think, yeah, I was going to say, where are we sitting right now? Are we doing 4 MJFs?
Yeah, we're at 4 MJFs. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So mine doesn't matter, but I'm still going to fill everybody in. Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I like Omega, and honestly and truthfully, I don't know enough about Omega to again say if he could make a good face, but you know, he's young enough right now to where, and the fans are behind him enough to where I think you could make him their big time face right now and have him and MJF kind of leading that company and the matches they could have. Now, I think Omega, because of some of the accolades outside of AEW, has kind of earned a little bit of that he's relevant whether he's got a title or not status. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was at one point in time called the greatest wrestler in the world. So you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. This is hard, but I mean, my heart, they're both great. They're both going to lead this company for a while if they do it right. And then you got Moxley in the mix and stuff and everything. But just personal feelings, I got to go MJF. So, yeah, he's right. MJF wins this bracket, guys. Yes, congrats to MJF. Guys, we are not going to do a recap show tonight. We are moving straight into the Havoc Zone tonight because we didn't know how long this was going to take. So, guys, y'all are here for the next little bit too, and we will continue to bring you these, but we will get back to the Havoc Zone recap show as soon as we get done doing these this tournament.
What an awesome background you
Yes,
have
sir.
there.
I know,
that's
man.
really good.
It's there was this guy, man, this dude that I know, this pretty cool guy, man. He just sent it to me one day. I was like, here, man, you should use this. I put a couple of pictures that you did together and everything, and I was like, oh yeah. He was like, yeah. He said, so what do you think and everything? I was like, man, that's badass, man. So we're gonna use that if that's cool. He's like, yeah, it's cool. I can't remember what his name is. Saved my life though. And I'm just joking. Now that is courtesy of Mr. JD over there in Mayhem Media. We love it. I thank you, man. We're going to try to incorporate it in our new intro video as soon as we can figure out how to edit stuff. But anywho's,
You just
let's see.
subcontract to Mayhem Media. That's all.
Hey guys, Wolfman in the house.
Wolfman.
What's up? What's up?
Okay. He said Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon, Sting.
Well, we're not doing. That was kind of weird. Yeah,
All
Nash,
right.
Razor Ramon, Sting. I mean,
Well, we are moving into the WCW portion of the match and everything. Let's see. This is the first one we got here. First round, we got Sting versus Booker T. I really like that matchup. We can talk really quick about the matchups too before we get into it. I really like that matchup. I think they pop off good. Anybody else got anything to say about it?
I hated it because I wish they were on like the other end. Because
He's like, because they're two of my favorites.
yeah, like, and it just hurts my heart that I have to cut one of them so soon and shit. So no, I do not like this. I wish you would split that up between like the Sid Vicious and the Ron Simmons or something like that. Kevin Nash.
All right, Andrew, you got anything to say about that first round match?
No, but yeah. When you think of WCW, you think of Sting. I mean, you just have to think of Sting.
Oh, I agree 100%.
So
franchise.
Yep.
I gotta say Sting.
Chad.
I feel the same way. I got to go with Sting on this. I wish that they were on different ends of the bracket because I would love to like advance Booker T, but I can't advance Booker T over Sting.
I think this would have been a much better semifinals matchup than a preliminary matchup, and I'm obviously going to go Sting, of course.
All right, Uncle Slam, you didn't pick, did you?
No. But it is pretty easy. I mean, like when you look at it, it's like Sting's got more titles. He's had longer reigns. He's beat Hogan. He's beat Hart. Booker T. Unfortunately, I think some of his reigns were kind of short. I don't remember how long someone was. Now, I know he was, I think, the last champ before the actual merger or whatever and stuff. So, but I think some of his reigns were kind of short too. So this is kind of easy. I mean, Sting is the franchise. So, give it to Sting.
I have to agree with that. As much as I mean, I like Booker T. But if we're talking about tag team, it's a whole different conversation.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know that's just the way that is. You know,
I would absolutely pick Harlem Heat as the best
over Sting and Luger.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, even over Sting and Luger. They only won the belt one time. You can't argue with Harlem Heat 7 times.
Yeah, but they were teamed up a whole lot and everything as the dudes with attitudes and all that stuff. It was terrible. Anyways, all righty. Sting's got that first matchup. Let's move it on. We got Vader versus DDP. We are going to start with Mr. Andrew.
Oh, there's no question about this one. I am a huge DDP fan. DDP's life was in WCW. Did he dabble outside of that? Sure, he did with his later years, but his life was WCW. So when I think of WCW, I think of Sting and DDP. It's good. That's just how I look at it. So I mean, it's easy for me. It's DDP. Yeah.
Alrighty, Uncle Slam, we'll go this way this time.
All right. I'm gonna go the opposite of this. I'm gonna go Vader on this. I know he's a 3-time champ. I think DDP was I think DDP was a 4-time champ. But a lot of DDP's reigns were like 15 days, 2 days, 15 days. I think he kept it maybe like one night, and then he either he won it and then lost it the very next night. So I don't really count those as they don't hold a bunch of weight. I think Vader, I loved him as a champ, especially as a big man to be able to move like he could, especially that moonsault that he used to do and shit. So I'm going to go, like I said, with Vader on this one.
All right, so we got one Vader, one DDP, and let's go with JD.
Oh, definitely got to be DDP.
Okay.
He's a WCW homegrown guy. And I think definitely just DDP.
All right, Mr. Casey. We're getting a tie. I got a feeling here.
Yeah, we're gonna have a tie, and it honestly pains me because I'm not a huge Vader fan, but he held the belt for 285 days, and like Uncle Slam said, DDP had it for like 2 days. He had it for 15. Like those are not title reigns. But it also, like, I see DDP as like that face of WCW too. But I got to go with the 285 days. Like, like just one title reign is more than at least 2 of your title reigns combined, if not more than that. But yeah, and I'm just not a big Vader fan, so that kind of pains me.
So you're picking Vader?
Yeah.
All righty. So we got 3. What is it? 2 Vaders, 2 DDPs. Okay.
Yeah.
The tiebreaker.
I get to be the tiebreaker. Well, I'm not going to say that whenever I think of WCW, I think of DDP. He's definitely one of the guys I think of, especially at the end of the WCW reign. But, from the time WCW was started till the time it ended, that's, Sting for me. That's, pretty much Ric Flair, Arn Anderson. You know what I'm saying? Those guys. Pillman to an extent, even though Pillman jumped ship and went to the WWE before he passed away, unfortunately. Also, speaking of which, not speaking of, that's a bad segue, but it just hit me. I remembered, I want to do a shout out real quick to Professor Bear. It's his birthday today. So happy birthday, Professor Bear.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
But yeah, I mean, it's so hard because at the same time, I think of Vader as WCW homegrown. He was their first real big monster that just came along and was like, oh crap. He was the Brock Lesnar before Brock Lesnar. How are we going to stop this friggin' wrecking ball? And I just, in this instance, I have to give it to Vader. I really do. It's nothing against DDP. I like DDP, but it's Vader for me.
Wow.
All righty.
That is shocking.
I mean, like I said, I like DDP.
Yep,
Yeah,
change
change
it
your
bracket. Yep, change the bracket. Yep, change it up.
All righty. On to the next. We have Big Sexy Kevin Nash versus, oh yeah, dig it, Macho Man Randy Savage. Who do you have? Let's start out with Uncle Slam.
All right, let's see. This, I think, was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be because I looked. I'm pretty sure they're both 4-time champs.
Hey, can you put your mouth in front of the mic better?
I'm sorry. Yeah. They're both 4-time champs. Let's see. think Macho Man actually won a 60-man battle royal to win one of his. He beat Flair, Sting, and Nash. I think Nash beat Goldberg, Jeff Jarrett, DDP, and Hogan in like a triple threat match. So they're kind of tied. If I had to pick, personally, I'm more of a Macho Man fan than I'm a Kevin Nash fan. Nothing against Kevin Nash. I think he's a genius, but I've always been a Macho fan. Even though I feel like Kevin Nash had a bigger impact, but not as a world champ when it comes to WCW. I still see him more as a tag team with the Outsiders. So
Okay.
I have to give it to Macho Man on this one.
All right. So before we move on, I have a question for everybody. Just a quick yes or no. Do you think that WCW used Macho Man better than the WWE?
No.
Very little.
No.
No. Okay. It's just something because I got to thinking about, you said he won a 60-man battle royal. You know what I'm saying? He never did anything like that. He was a one-time champion, 1 or 2-time champion over there. He was a 4-time champion, and but that's another argument.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's another argument. It popped in my head. I wanted to ask real quick, Mr. Poletto.
Yes, sir.
Who you got, Nash or Macho Man?
There is nothing about Kevin Nash that I like. I don't get his allure at all.
Macho Man, no.
So I'm not a big Macho Man fan, but he was.
Oh, really? Okay.
I did see him in the gym once when he was when I lived in Indianapolis, and he was there, and he said hi to me, and I actually spotted him on the bench press.
Awesome,
so that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
So I'll go with that road. So I go Macho Man. Yep.
All right, Mr. Casey.
Macho Man.
Macho Man.
I'm not a Kevin Nash fan. This one made it really easy because Goldberg is one of my favorite wrestlers. I know JD.
You're on the wrong show, my friend.
I know.
Oh my God!
Look at JD.
I know. JD.
Hold on, everybody. I believe JD's head just popped.
I think that's hold on. I can't.
His head, I saw it like come sucking in, and then all of a sudden it was just like an explosion and light was shining. It was like a star formed.
I was thinking about what I was about to say when it came to me, and then I heard what you said, and I kind of left my body for a second.
That was hilarious.
So I mean, Kevin Nash beats Goldberg, like it's easily like Macho Man for me.
All righty. That is the craziest logic I've ever used or heard for wanting to make the Macho Man. Because Goldberg got beat by Kevin Nash, I'm picking Macho Man.
Listen,
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead, JD.
I'm rescinding my invite to you on the episode.
Listen, I'm a heel for a reason.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between being a heel and getting super kicked in the face for what you think. No, just kidding. No, you're crazy. First of all, that's nonsense. I am a big Kevin Nash fan. I liked Big Sexy. I was just glad that Goldberg lost. I'm the opposite of you, Chad Casey. I was glad to see him lose. Calling him any kind of wrestler or acknowledging him as a wrestler, I think, is one of the sins. You're going to get blackballed, Chad Casey. You call yourself the savior of pro wrestling. No one's going to be hiring you. You keep saying stuff like that. So that's crazy. But however, I mean, listen, I'm a big Kevin Nash fan, but I lost my vote as soon as I saw the finger poke of doom. He is not the greatest of anything. You can make an argument for the tag team, the Outsiders, as Uncle Slam said. I'm a huge Outsiders fan. I loved watching Nash and Hall as a tag team, one of my favorites. The finger poke of doom erased every single thing he did outside of the Outsiders and NWO, in my opinion. Anything outside of that is eliminated with the finger poke of doom. I don't care. So I'm going to have to go with the Macho Man. Yeah. Cream of the crop, baby. The cream rises to the top.
Oh, yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I grew up on Macho. You know what I'm saying? It was the first real big deal in wrestling for me. After Hogan won the title, the Mega Powers joined forces. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of the first big ordeal after Hogan won for me, and the whole Andre thing. So yeah, I got to go with Macho just because, and it's nothing against Nash. You know, I know a lot of people give him hell because they say he's like a 4 or 5 move wrestler. But hey, if the man could go out there and do 4 or 5 things and make $50 million, guess what I'd do if I could go out there and do 4 or 5 things and make $50 million doing it? I'd go out there and do 4 or 5 things and go home with my money. I mean, you know, I can't blame the man for what if he did. I'm not saying he did or he didn't. I'm just saying I can't fault him for it if that's the case. But I got to give it to Macho just because of the fact that Macho is, you know, he's Macho, man. You know, and that, no pun intended. He's just when I think Hulkamania, I think Macho Man 2 as one of his probably top 2 greatest rivalries other than Andre and Piper.
J-Mac, I think if you put together a tournament for the smartest wrestlers.
I meant top 3. Yeah, you're right.
If you put together a tournament with the smartest wrestlers of all
Goldberg
time,
for certain.
Kevin Nash wins that hands down, maybe.
Goldberg.
Oh, I agree. He's very intelligent.
Definitely one of the smartest guys in the business. Absolutely. But
definitely not Goldberg, though. No,
I got 2 words for you. Goldberg.
What are we talking about now?
Smartest
wrestler of all time? Is that the bracket?
Smartest wrestler of all time, Goldberg.
All righty, guys. Last match in the first round is going to be Psycho Sid Vicious versus the All-American Ron Simmons. Now, keep in mind, this is WCW Ron Simmons, Prime Ron Simmons, not Farouk Ron Simmons.
And may I say, Andrew, that your Goldberg being the smartest wrestler, that goes out the window when he put his forearm through the glass and shattered and cut his arm all up.
True.
And ruined the reformation of the BS NWO.
All right, JD, who you got between Vicious and Simmons?
You know, this one is probably the toughest of the first round. Actually, I think you could definitely make an argument for Ron Simmons. I mean, what he accomplished certainly was unique and great, but you know, I think he was only a one-time champion, wasn't he?
2.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 times?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me
but
make sure.
But other than the impact of him winning, the title, I don't really think he brought too much more to it after that. You know, his title run was fine. It was a good title run, but I don't think it brought anything special. But Psycho Sid, just his presence, or Sid Vicious, depending on where you are, I guess. But I think, Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, I think having him, he's always been a wild card no matter where he is. And he's always dangerous in the ring. He can do a lot of stuff for a big man of his size that you don't see a lot of other big guys do as well as he does. So I'm going to go with Sid Vicious on this one.
Ron Simmons is a 2-time champion, along with
according to Google,
along
he's
with
a one-time
Vicious.
champion.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was only a one-time champion.
This says Vicious, Ron Simmons, Bret Hart, and Scott Steiner are all 2-time champions.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to research it. I will definitely do that because I don't want false information on here. But anyways, who did you pick, JD?
I picked Sid Vicious.
Vicious, okay. And Mr. Casey, who you got?
I gotta go with Ron Simmons. Looking at if I've got the right information for the WCW title, Ron Simmons held it for 136 days. Sid Vicious had it for 2 days and 75 days. Like, again, one title reign beats 2 combined. And I'm just, I never understood the hype with Sid Vicious. Like, I just never could get behind watching him. Kind of the same way I am with Adam Page. Like, I'm just not a fan of his work. Like, I'd rather turn the channel, not watch him.
I
I
see
like
why
watching
they
Braun.
think he did. I see why somebody else does, but I don't see it. It's type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and I've liked Ron Simmons. Like I liked his work in WCW. I liked him as Farouk. So I gotta go with Ron.
All righty, Mr. Andrew.
According to Google AI overview, Ron Simmons held the WCW World Heavyweight Championship for one run, reigning for exactly 150 days.
That sounds right.
So
Okay.
we're all getting different information here, so I don't know. Now, as far as physically appealing goes, I think Sid Vicious beats everybody on this list. The dude is just jacked. Was it 7 foot tall, however tall he was, and a body of a Greek god. You can say that about any of these guys on here, but he outshines them all that way. But in terms of being a class act and being respected in the locker room, I got to give it to Ron Simmons. So I'm going to pick Ron Simmons on this one.
All right. So we got 2 Simmons and 1 Sid. Uncle Slam.
All right. This was actually harder than I thought it would be at first, like I said. But then after listening to kind of what y'all said, it made it a little bit easier. Because I still don't know if he's a 2-time or 1-time or whatever. I still think even if he's just a 1-time, Sid's 2-day reigns and 75 days reigns, they pretty much equal out to 1 anyway. So I think they kind of cancel each other out. They're both big guys, both powerful. I've been more of a Ron Simmons fan. I still think of him more as a tag team than I do a singles wrestler. And I also like Sid a whole lot. You know, I like the whole Psycho Sid or, you know, Sid Vicious or whatever, you know, persona. But I just feel like Ron's a little more talented or whatever. I think he is more of the type of wrestler that I like. You know, he's more the power guy and shit. Plus, I think he can do a little bit more. I think he's a little bit better on the mic. Not much and shit. But I would take him over Sid. So I would go Ron over Sid. But it's closer than the thing.
I am going to have to pick Ron too. I always liked Ron Simmons. I think he was one of WCW's most misused guys in that time period. I think, you know, Ron and Sting could have been a huge 1-2 punch with Luger in there too, you know, because Luger could go bad. You know what I'm saying? That was the good thing about Luger. He could switch to either side. And then you always had, you know, your typical bad guys with Flair and Anderson and all of them and everything. But Ron and Sting could have been like the 2 main good guys for WCW back then had they used him better and give him, you know, whether it's 1 or 2 title runs, it wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Andrew was saying, he's, you know, probably one of the classiest people in the profession ever and well-respected people in the profession ever. But he's also somebody you don't go screwing with. Because the man will rip your head off and hurt you bad. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I don't care what anybody says. He's probably tied 1A and 1B with Arn Anderson for the greatest spine buster of all time.
Yeah.
But that, you know, so it's Simmons for me, hands down.
Go find what Mark Henry said about Ron Simmons on the Steve Austin podcast, talking about Ron Simmons.
What did he say?
And who's that other Ahmed Johnson? Ahmed Johnson hurt Ron Simmons, and he put him on the shelf for a while. And when Simmons came back,
oh yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mark Henry said it. Ron used to say hi to him all the time, and he said Ron was just focused on going out there and beating the shit out of Ahmed. He said that at the time Ahmed was white hot. I mean, he was hotter than Steve Austin was. He said within 6 months he was out of the company after that. Ron Simmons just mauled him like a tiger. He said out there, the tiger eating his prey. Yeah, and the thing that Mark Henry says about Simmons, I mean, you can just hear the respect. As he portrayed what he was saying about Simmons. Go find that. It is priceless to hear, and it's so passionate the way he talks about him too. So,
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I like, Mark Henry's somebody I didn't care much for in the ring, but I like him as a person.
Oh, class act.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love listening to interviews with him and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he was another guy. He didn't have to be stone cold, but you wasn't going to F with him.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
All righty, moving on to the next round. Anybody got anything to say about anybody that moved on? Sting, Vader. That's a hell of a matchup. That's a classic.
That's a classic WCW.
Yeah, I was gonna say
man.
And Macho Simmons, man, that's a dream matchup, honestly, for me. That would be a dream
That would be
matchup. Macho
something,
versus
too.
Simmons. All righty. Anybody got anything to say about it before we get into it?
No.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are going to go into it. We got which one, y'all? Well, we'll just go in order. Sting versus Vader, the big match. We'll get it on out of the way. We will start this time with Uncle Slam. We will go counterclockwise. Give it to us, Uncle Slam.
Sting. I mean, Sting. I know this is a big shock. I mean, it's Sting. Like, he's the franchise.
Yeah, it should be a big shock.
Like a 5-6 time champ in WCW. I mean, what else? I mean, like, the only person I feel like who could compare with him would probably be Flair. And Flair's not in this part. I'm pretty sure he's in another portion someplace else. So I don't even think this is a contest, honestly, when it comes to it. Sting all day.
All righty. We got one for Sting. Bad Guy. Well, we know who he's going with.
Sting.
So, Chad Casey. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead, Bad Guy.
I think this is a classic matchup, but I don't think I need to say too much. I think Sting clearly is the better champion in WCW over Vader. Vader wasn't bad; he was fine, but he's what they needed at the time. But he didn't have the longevity. Sting. It has to be Sting.
All right, so we got two Stings, no Vaders. Chad, who you got?
I'm gonna go Vader. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was like, we got some controversy here.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to get a rile out of JD.
As Brock would say,
show and save yourself the ass kicking.
As Brock would say, hot take.
Yes. No, hands down, it's Sting. I mean, he's the face of WCW in my opinion. Vader doesn't even come close. I just wanted to get a rile out of JD.
Everybody I'm the bad guy. That's what I'm here for.
In true heel fashion.
I'm here to be your bad
yes.
guy.
All righty. Andrew, who you got?
DDP.
Can I pick DDP for the next match? For the next matchup?
Have another drink, Andrew. No.
Yeah, I gotta go with Sting. Unfortunately, I gotta go with Sting.
Why you gotta say
unfortunately?
Why you gotta be unfortunately?
Because DDP should be there, and it should be DDP.
I think DDP. Honestly, I agree with you. It should be DDP and Sting in the finals. That should be the finals of WCW.
But it's not according to this bracket. Yell at the bracket maker.
Now, don't yell at me.
Hey, Mac.
It's your show, damn it.
I did it as unbiased as I possibly could. All righty, so
probably the problem. Actually, you probably should have done this one a little more biased.
No. We don't want to be biased on this. We want a fun. You never know what's going to happen show. But all righty. I think Uncle Slam, you got to give us yours, correct?
He started it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you did start it. My bad, man. It's hard to keep up sometimes. Well, I guess it's on me then, ain't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it matters because everybody else has picked Sting, but yeah. I mean, I love Vader. I was looking it up, and they literally split their rivalry together against each other 3-3. So, I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Sting eventually overcame at the end at Slamboree 94. But it was only for the international title, the WCW international title. So that kind of sucks. But, I think it's cool that they had enough respect for each other. And that's one thing that I like about Sting. Sting Steve Borden himself didn't have an ego to where he had to be the winner of everything. You know what I'm saying? He knew he was their Hulk Hogan, but he didn't walk around there, and I don't mean any bad things about Hulk, but everybody knows what he did and didn't do. And he did play a lot of politics. And I just don't think Sting did. And Sting didn't want to play politics. He just wanted to wrestle. So I think that's cool that they, he was a man enough to let Vader get his, I was just as equal with the franchise guy, so that's cool. Kind of built Vader up, but I got to give it to Sting. Sting wins this match hands down. Let's see who we got here. Well, that's not it, is it?
Nope.
This is dun, 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 dun. All right. We got Macho Man versus, ooh, I like this one. Ron Simmons, Mr. Poletto. I'll let you go first, sir.
Yeah, I gotta go with Ron Simmons. It's not that I dislike Macho Man. I just don't think of him as a champion. I think of him as a character, not as a champion. And I go back to the classiness in the locker room. What's the word I'm looking for? The leadership, locker room leadership that Ron Simmons has, that he commands in a locker room, basically. So I go with Ron Simmons on this one.
Mr. Casey.
I got to go with Ron Simmons. I'm looking at the SmackDown Hotel for just to see their title reigns, the length. Ron Simmons, it's showing 136. I'm seeing 30, 20, 1.
Yeah, Macho Man didn't get
for Macho Man. I think I like the character better of Macho Man, but I like the wrestling more of Ron Simmons.
So you're going with Ron?
Yes.
Okay, so we got two Rons.
Okay.
That's surprising. I'm actually really surprised about that. JD, who you got?
I'm going to have to go with the Macho Man. I think Ron Simmons, like I said, he made a great impact when he won that title, but then he was a couple months later, couple years or so later, he was gone from the company. And I don't think people, except for its historic impact, I think his reign is forgettable. So, yeah, I have to go Macho Man because I think his reigns, as small as they are, I think are more noticeable because I think people think that and I agree with him, that he should have gotten better title reigns than he got, Macho Man. So,
are they more noticeable because of the fact that Hulk Hogan was there? Would they be as noticeable if he had just jumped and not Hogan?
I think Macho Man's championship reigns are noticeable in WCW because he was often used as a transition champion.
Okay. I was just wondering. Uncle Slam, who you got?
I know most people probably would say I'd probably go with Ron, but I'm going to go with Macho on this. Even though Macho did have short reigns and stuff, I think his 4 small ones are bigger than Ron's long one, and I definitely agree about the significance.
We're talking title reigns, right?
Yeah, title reign. And I get his significance of, being one of the first to win it as far as being a black guy or whatever. But at the same time, if we're just doing wrestling here and not anything else, I feel like I even like Ron more, but if I were just doing wrestling, I think Macho has to take this one right here because I feel like he's more of a champ than Ron is, even though I think Ron's probably more deserving. I think Ron should have got more opportunities. He was kind of pigeonholed as far as being just a tag team guy back in the day. And then when they finally did, the whole fucking show was collapsing. So, but for this, I got to go with Macho.
This matchup right here, Ron Simmons and Macho Man, is like a matchup of the most underrated in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Matchup. Both Ron Simmons and Macho Man should have been utilized better and more than they were.
Yeah,
and you could say that they were each a representative of WCW and WWF, both underused.
Yeah,
Macho should have been a bigger rival to Hogan and beat him at least once or twice. Did you know everyone?
That's why they brought him over. Honestly, was because of Hogan.
if I'm not mistaken, somebody can fact check me on this, and please do in the comments. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all of us here, because we've all got some shows somewhere. And, you know, go see this guy up here in the right corner, because he's going to be wrestling in some rings and dazzling everybody and all that good stuff I can't do, that I sit here and talk about. But but yeah, I'm conflicted with this, because, you know, when I think of WCW, I don't really think of the Macho Man too much. I think of that being like where the Macho Man kind of went to end his career. You know what I'm saying? And it was, you know, to me, when I think of Macho Man, I think of WWF. And that's just, you know, to me, where I think of him and stuff. And it's nothing against him, but Simmons at that time was, like I said, he was the equivalent to what could have been the other good guy with Sting. And I think they missed that opportunity. And I think that, like, at the time that Sting was on top wasn't when the Four Horsemen was there. It was after, you know, when he was in his prime, you know, that was way after the Horsemen and stuff like that, you know, around Surfer Sting into the transition of the Crow was his, you know, prime right there. And the Horsemen weren't really prevalent. It was NWO at the time and everything. So it was like the Horsemen made Sting. And then, you know, Simmons was that B guy while Sting was the franchise guy. And he was able to be up there, but they didn't give him the props that they should. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just don't feel like they utilized him enough. So when I think of WCW, I got to give it to Simmons over the Macho Man in this instance, just because he is what WCW is to me, just as much as Sting is or DDP. You know, that's where he got his comeuppance. You know what I'm saying? That's where he made the name Ron Simmons. I hated the name Farouk. I wish they'd just let him use that in WCW and be done with it, or WWE and be done with it. Plain and simple. All right. Well, I guess that means Simmons moved on, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
All
Simmons.
righty.
Yep, I'm sending you the visual now, so you'll have it in a moment.
Well, we got Sting and Simmons in the next round, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start with
In the finals,
Andrew Poletto. Yeah, in the finals of this round, Mr. Poletto, who do
I think this is a no-brainer for us all. I mean, this is Sting all the way. There's no question. It's a Sting all the way in this one.
We might have some surprises. You never know.
For Sting. I know.
As much as
you
I
never
like
know
Ron
what's going to happen.
As much as I like Ron Simmons, by the criteria that we're setting, it's got to be Sting on this one.
All righty. We'll go with Mr. Slam this time.
Who, me? All right.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I know it's going to be shocking, but I'm going to go Sting on this one. it's too
Are you
easy,
sure?
Man.
Have you really thought about that?
It is just,
I don't want to rush your decision.
Landslide. I mean, like, if you just look at the resumes, I mean, like, no disrespect to Ron. Like, I love Ron Simmons. I give him all the respect in the world. But if we're looking at Sting, he's the franchise. He's what the WCW was built on, pretty much, besides the Four Horsemen and shit. Like, there is no WCW without Sting and shit. He is Mr. WCW. So, I mean, to me, there's not even I joke about Ron Simmons, you know what I'm saying? I definitely love him and respect him as a person, but it's Sting. Sting.
All righty. We'll just skip JD. We know who he's picking. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead, JD.
Go ahead, man. It's Sting. It's Sting. Chad?
I'm gonna throw out a shocker. I'm going with the great Bobby Blaze.
There you go. Substitution.
Yeah. I think that's the only person that deserves this. No, I mean it's got to be Sting. Like, there's not even a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
See, I need to get Mr. Bobby Blaze in on one of these. You know what I'm saying? Because he's actually been in he's wrestled these people. We need to, that's what we need to do, Uncle Slam. We need to get Bobby Blaze in here. We need to get Mr. Mancini in here, and anybody else we can get, to come on the show wrestling wise and let them argue it out. And us just sit back and moderate.
I love listening to Bobby, especially when he talks about his WCW days. I love listening to his takes from the locker room.
That's awesome. All righty, Mr. Poletto, I believe, did you pick Sting, Mr. Poletto?
Yes, I did.
All righty. Well, guys, I think that does it, doesn't it?
Yes,
Sting
and I already
is
sent you the final one
the
too.
winner. Yes, he did.
Did you pick Legend already, or are you just going with the majority?
I mean, it doesn't matter if I pick anyway. Sting's not, losing this, and I mean, I'd be a fool to go against it. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just I'm not taking the time to download it, guys. Sting won, everybody. He's the last name on that bracket, but no, we will before we get out of here, we'll talk about it and everything. But yeah, Sting's the obvious choice. And when I think of WCW is Sting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I think of, NWA, there's a couple of guys I could name, like a Race or a Flair or a Rhodes. But when it's WCW, the franchise of WCW was always Sting. He was their answer to Hulk Hogan at the time, when people were, other companies were trying to build on that formula of find a franchise guy and go with him. So yeah, Sting is what WCW was, is, and always will be. There's a reason why he was on the very last match with Ric Flair on Nitro. It meant something.
Flair's probably the only person that I would have voted against Sting in a WCW tournament.
Okay,
right.
Here's the quick question. Is there anybody on the list that y'all wish we had put on that we left off? Maybe like a WCW or AEW, like maybe, like would we put Flair with WCW, or like would you add like a Darby Allin to like an AEW or somebody like that?
I would have definitely put Darby Allin over CM Punk.
Okay, you got Darby Allin over CM Punk?
No,
I could have went Darby Allin or Swerve over Punk.
Or Swerve. I love Swerve.
Yeah.
Besides,
I really like
Swerve. My favorite wrestler right now.
As much as it pains me to say it, I'd have to agree with you guys. For AEW over Punk, yeah, I would put either one of those two. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the WCW then? Anybody y'all would switch out for somebody else?
I know that Jay putting Flair in the NWA. I know that he's putting Flair in the NWA, and I understand because he's keeping everybody, you can't be in more than one tournament or whatever, and it makes more sense for him to be in the NWA tournament. But like I said, Ric Flair is likely the only other person that I would have voted over Sting for. So I would have seen him in a WCW tournament. Yeah.
If you didn't put Sting in the NWA, not Sting, but Flair in the NWA, you most certainly would put him in the WCW over top of like WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was you going to say, Andrew?
I'd say I'd take out Kevin Nash and I'd put Goldberg in.
Yes. My guy. My guy. Yes.
Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
Listen, here, I got something Uncle Slam will like. Can we take both Nash and Goldberg off the list and just put Bret Hart in his place?
No.
Not for WCW, you can't.
No. For me, yes. For me, I know Bret Hart's not a WCW guy, but for me, yes. Put Bret Hart in that place before you put Goldberg.
Why would we ever disgrace WCW like that, man?
I hear the hate coming from you, Legend. It's all right.
Hey, man, you're talking about putting Goldberg on the list. You can't get any more disrespectful than
I
that.
know. As soon as you said that, I knew that shit was going to explode.
Bill Goldberg.
Legend, what about you? Like anybody you wish you could have switched out instead on like any one of these lists?
Let me look here, man. Let me look. I don't know, man. Honestly and
Yeah.
truthfully, I'm kind of okay with how it turned out. Maybe Sid Vicious.
Who would you swap him out with? What, like
I'm trying to think offhand real quick.
a Hogan or
No, because Hogan's
Benoit?
WWE.
Maybe Scott Steiner.
No,
Benoit,
I
maybe?
can't stand. I like Scott Steiner tag team. I don't like Scott Steiner Big Papa
Oh,
Dump.
me too. But I don't know. I was thinking maybe him on the list
You
over.
put him
Luger?
over Kevin Nash any day of the week, and for
I would
WCW.
too. I would put him over Kevin Nash.
I would not do that though. I would not do that.
Who would I put over Sid Vicious?
What about like a Luger or somebody like that? Luger, Benoit.
No, not Luger.
Well, Benoit didn't win it until right before he left.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Let's
I
see,
can,
who,
man. I just really, I'm trying to rack my brain. And
The problem is a lot of WCW's great champions came from other companies first. That's
Yeah.
that's one of the problems.
Yeah, because the first thing's coming to mind is Flair, and I know the
Yeah,
Horseman kind of dominated for so long with him holding
Yeah.
the belt and shit.
and
Yeah.
It's kinda hard to think anybody else.
Dusty was never a WCW champion.
no, even Hogan. You got. I mean, I imagine
Really?
you're gonna have him
Dusty
on the
wasn't? He was
WWE
never-
side.
No,
WCW
he was NWA champion.
Oh,
Oh, you have
He was
Hogan on the
never-
NWA tournament?
No, Hogan.
Oh.
Hogan's in the WWF.
Yeah, all right, that's what I thought. Sorry, we had some
Yeah.
crossover talking. My apologies.
No, I said Dusty. Dusty was
Dusty,
never a WCW champion.
Yeah.
He was NWA. I can't think of anybody right offhand that I would.
Okay.
Maybe Terry Funk. No, Terry Funk was NWA.
Yeah. Luger's really
Cactus
the
Jack?
only other person you got. No, not Cactus Jack either.
Luger
Flair
is
had-
about the
I'm-
only
I'm
other
looking
person.
at the list. I'm looking at the list of title reigns for WCW, and Flair's had several title reigns.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Flair's what I think about when I think of WCW. Like I know he was big with the NWA and shit, but to me, in my childhood, Flair was WCW besides Sting.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with that statement, Slam.
Let's see here. Flair had 6 reigns in WCW, and he had 6 reigns in. No, that's WCW too. My bad. I want to say it was like 6 and 7, something like that. I can't remember exactly how it is. WCW 6.
I wonder if I have my.
And NWA is 8. That's why he's in the NWA, is because he's been a heavyweight champion there more times.
Oh wait, we're forgetting a big one. David
What?
Arquette.
David
Oh,
Arquette.
no.
Yeah, oh, man.
Yes, that's who I'd put in
That's
over
when
Vicious
wrestling
right there.
died.
Oh,
That's when it died. Okay,
Yeah,
Talking
how
about the
could you do
fingerprint
that?
of Doom.
you
That
got
ranks
Jeff
right
Jarrett,
up there
too.
with it.
It was bad. It was really bad.
It was bad.
All right, guys, I'm going
That
to
was
promote
like
some
that.
stuff real quick. Let y'all say some stuff, and we're going to get out of here and let these people go to bed and enjoy it. We're actually getting out of here at a decent time tonight. But before we get out of here, man, has anybody got anything to say about these this tournament before we? Either one of them. Any final thoughts, prayers, friend requests, whatever.
I don't have any complaints with it. I mean, I think I totally agree with WCW. I still kind of wanted Moxley a little bit with AEW, but I'm not upset about like MJF winning it. So that's my only thought about any of that.
Okay. Anybody else?
Should have been Punk.
Should have been Punk.
Boy, between Punk and Goldberg, some of you guys need some help.
I feel a lot of rage bait going on.
Yes.
Hey, man, you know what, Slam? No wonder I was trying to figure out why you guys keep bringing me on. You're the one pitching for me, aren't you, Slam? As long as I'm here, no one's harassing you about Bret Hart. I'm catching all the time.
See, I'm always on your side for the most part, but for
And I
some
appreciate
reason,
that. And I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. That's why I back you up on Bret Hart when they come after you. See,
but when it comes to AEW, you and the Legend are just like oil and water. Y'all just do not mix for some reason.
All righty. Anybody else got anything to say? I'm not getting in the middle of that, even though I kind of am in the middle right now. I'm not getting in the middle of it. But no, yeah, everybody, I appreciate everybody coming on. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna pitch some stuff, then I'm gonna let everybody plug their stuff. Next week, we are going to continue this. We are going to try to do a little bit of a round table of guests so we don't have the same guests every week and everything. Of course, it's nothing against any of these gentlemen. We love them. We appreciate them being here. Just we want as many different opinions as we can get. Next week, next week, July 17th, we are going to be doing the NWA and the AWA. Of course, me and Uncle Slam, Professor Bear, again, happy birthday. And the Lone Wolf Bobby Blade will be joining us for that show. We are still waiting for a response from a couple other people and everything to get one more person on there. But guys, we may reach back out to have you on another one because, like I said, this we got to go to second round, third round. This is going to be a few weeks going on, so it's how we're going to end the summer, basically. So yeah, we'll have you out. We'll definitely reach out again to get y'all's opinions once we get a little bit, into the inner promotional matches and stuff too. Absolutely. But yeah. Well, whoever wants, we'll let Mr. Andrew start and everything, plug in his things and stuff.
Thanks for having me here. You can follow me on Popcorn and Whiskey. I go live on my channel, Andrew Poletto, usually on Friday and Saturday nights if I don't have something else like this going on tonight. But feel free to join me there. And also, if you're an old man looking to get healthier and fitter, go to Top Fitness Strategies and look me up over there. I got podcasts, videos, interviews, things of that sort as well. So, again, thanks for letting me be here.
Always, man. You're always welcome. Open invitation. Also, I'm going to go ahead and do it before JD does. Watch tomorrow, man. We got the continuation of the Marvel Comic Universe over there on Mayhem Media. See, I got you before you could. Now, Mr. Casey, go ahead and plug your stuff real quick, buddy.
Don't forget Purple Toad.
Oh, yeah. Well, I ain't had no Purple Toad tonight. Promise.
You can follow me on Facebook, Chad Casey page. I have a custom action figure page. It's CC Figures. You can see me tomorrow in Spencer, West Virginia at Route 33. Bell time is 7 p.m. August 30th in Ironton, Ohio. Bell time has not been announced for that one yet. We're waiting on Brock's Boulder to get a bell time for that. Of course, we got to wait on him. I saw your comment, Brox.
Oh, Brox?
He said that Chad Casey sucks eggs, but he's just upset that I have better hair.
Is that what it is?
Yes. September 4th, we're in Olive Hill, Kentucky at the Bigfoot Kickoff Festival. September 5th, we're in Catlettsburg. And then September 9th, we're in Inez, Kentucky. So pick any of those days, come out and see the savior of wrestling. And I'm not here to save you. I'm here to purify the ring in my view.
And I'm telling y'all, if he's associated with Brock's Boulder, go check it out. Bad Guy.
Yeah, check out Mayhem Media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Hit that subscribe button. As J-Mac said, we got the Marvel Cinematic Universe going tomorrow night. We do that every other week. So every other Saturday is when we do the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And on Sunday, we're going to be doing our After the Dragon series, which follows HBO's House of the Dragon, part of the Game of Thrones franchise. So tune into that. That'll be Sunday afternoon.
Uncle Slam, you got anything for these good people?
No, sir. I'm tapped out today, sir.
All righty. Anybody got anything else?
I have a question for JD.
Okay, yeah, sure. Here we
go. Surfer sting or crow sting?
Oh, okay. That's a really great question.
Deep. Let's do this real quick. The ref. It was a false finish, guys. False finish.
That's a really great question. I've always been the surfer sting was how I got attracted to Sting. That's what made me a fan. And when he started turning into the crow sting, I was still in high school, but I was heartbroken when he stopped being Surfer Sting. Of course, he kind of he kind of eased us into it. He started growing his hair out, and it wasn't just a spiked blonde hair. You know, it started being this brown, weird haircut, which I didn't like either. But in hindsight now, I think the evolution of his character was perfect, and I think he's probably gotten way more mileage out of the Crow Sting than he did the Surfer Sting. So to pick one or the other, though, I don't know that I could actually pick one or the other. I would probably pick Crow Sting just because I think he's gotten more use out of that. But the Surfer Sting was what attracted me to it. The bright colors, the spiked white hair, that's what drew me in the first place.
Well, since he asked the question, let's go around the horn real quick. Mr. Poletto, which one you like, Surfer or
Surfer
Crow?
Sting by far, without question, Surfer Sting.
Surfer Sting, heard.
Yep.
Uncle Slam.
I'm a lot like JD on this one. I was pulled in by Surfer Sting, but the Crow Sting kind of got me excited about Sting again.
Yeah.
Because he got kind of, I don't want to say he got stale, but he just, he was just Sting. But once he became the Crow Sting, it was like he was a new character. So I liked him even more. So I'm kind of like JD on this. I guess I kind of like the Crow Sting, but Surfer Sting is what is my childhood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the one that I grew up. That's the one I first saw. That's the one with the yells and the screaming and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's the one I remember.
Okay, so I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to throw y'all off real quick before we do let these people get out of here. But I love Surfer Sting, just like you all said. It's what got me into Sting. And I wish they would have done a throwback to Surfer Sting at some point in time. I think by the time he was retiring, the Crow thing was kind of played out too much. It had run its course a long time ago. But so I'm going to be honest with you. I think Sting turning bad out of Surfer Sting would have been even better had the NWO not happened. Sting, because like you said, it was getting stale.
I'm a proponent of Sting being the third guy in the NWO.
Hold on. Well, I mean, I could have dealt with that too, but let me give you an alternate universe type thing. So in either situation, NWO doesn't happen, Sting turns bad anyway, just to change character. Or in your situation, Sting's the third man. Either way, he turns bad. We don't need the Crow Sting, because I guarantee you the younger version of Sting back then, if he would have started the Joker Sting right then and there, that would have been iconic.
Yeah.
The Joker leading the NWO, all the tricks he could play, and you know what I'm saying? That would, Uncle Slam, I know you don't know a whole lot about the TNA stuff and everything, but that is a time I really watched TNA when he was doing the Joker Sting.
The Joker Sting was awesome.
Go back and watch the Joker Sting stuff, and then try to teleport that 10 years before, you know what I'm saying, to where it was around the Hogan time with NWO, and try to think about him being that third man as far as like the tricks and, the cheating and stuff that they could have done. Dude, it would have been a whole different take on Sting. Would have been the perfect way to make him a bad guy too. 100% believe it.
I don't know if Sting has ever been booed.
Huh?
As hard as Sting has tried sometimes, I don't know that he's ever been booed.
I don't, but I think it's because of the fact that nobody when he tried to be Bad Crow, nobody bought it.
That's what I mean, though. I don't know that people will buy a bad Sting. I think
they would have.
If he's doing evil stuff, I think they're still going to cheer Sting.
Sting doing a Joker type role and then doing mischievous stuff to his friends and turning his back on WCW, that would have been huge.
I see the crowd cheering as he throws Hulk Hogan off the WCW Titantron.
But that's the thing. He could have done that as the Joker Sting and Hulk Hogan as the American Sting.
If he would have been the third man, then it might have been different for like NWO. Right. Then I could see absolutely got over. But I don't know about any other time.
I think that could have worked if Hogan had retired and not come to WCW. it would have been that you could have done something off of it there somehow. I don't know how, but the NWO thing does work. But I think it works because it's already laid out. We can just usurp Hogan and Sting and kind of tweak it a little bit, and it's easier to see in your head. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I don't want to keep you all, man. It's 10 o'clock here, so I know it's about 9 o'clock for Mr. Poletto. And
No, it's 10 o'clock my time.
Oh, is it? Okay, so you ain't moved over into the next time zone then yet. We're in the same time zone.
I'm say 5 miles that way, and I will be.
Hey, that's kind of crazy. I know I noticed you have a Danville close to you. I live about 12 miles away from a town called Danville. It's where my family grew up, in Danville, Kentucky.
I'm about equal distance between Danville, Illinois, and Danville, Indiana.
Yeah,
I think we have a Danville in Pennsylvania too.
That's right. We're popular, man. Our Danville's where our state constitution was signed very first time.
There you go.
Yeah. I love.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
Yes, all of us do. We're out of here, guys. Referees hit that 3 count. Let's ring the damn bell.